Princess Peach, a name that you can't look up on the internet without consequences. Her role in the Mario series has mostly been consistent. She gets kidnapped, a man with a mustache shows up to save her, yeah, you know the drill. Sadly, due to her mundane role, it was always difficult for her to really shine and grow as her own character. I mean, what do you really do with a sprite who stands as still as a rock? There are exceptions though. She was in USA Super Mario Bros. 2 as a playable character, and you know what? She's the best choice. No one plays as the other guys. This should be a Peach game. The float is OP. And of course, Peach is usually also a playable character in all the Mario spin-off games, and looking towards the modern age, was in the Super Mario Bros. Movie as a fairly prominent character. The writers even gave her a backstory that they never finished explaining. This is either some like woke MCU like setup for Mario Cinematic Universe, or just the writing being Hollywooded to death. Maybe they just forgot. In 2023, following the success of the Mario movie, the Nintendo machine greenlit a heck ton of Mario projects, including that one for some reason. One of these games was a new Peach game, Princess Peach Showdown. I might not be the target demographic for this game, but I think it looks pretty cool. I'm pretty sure that's because I was a theater geek as a kid, and any theater kid will tell you that you never walk away the same from that. It'll be a day one purchase for me, and legally, you're not able to judge me for it. But it's funny to think about, though, that Peach actually already had her own game, going back to the year of our Lord and Savior, 2005. This was Super Princess Peach on the beloved Nintendo handheld, the Nintendo DS. You see, they put Mario on the box art, so parents knew what the fuck this was. But when Princess Peach Showdown was revealed, this previous venture was nowhere to be seen or heard about, not in any descriptions, not in the trailer. So today, we're gonna find out why it was buried to history. And yeah, it's a bit dramatic, but whatever. I actually remember getting this game as a kid and playing it quite a bit. It was one of my favorites. My parents bought me it. I don't know why, but honestly, my memory is really hazy on this game. I don't remember ever getting it to the end. I don't remember that much about it, so I don't know. Let's play it today and see where it stands in 2023. I assume not well. Booting up the game, we see something unheard of in 90% of Mario products. An actual narrative. Meet Vibe Island. Yeah, man, we're just vibing out here. How many offshoots of the Mushroom Kingdom are there now? I'm still upset about the Mario's Castle realization from Mario Land 2. Bowser apparently hears how vibey this island is. He wants to vibe too, and how it has these powers, so he sets up a pop-up castle because apparently those exist now. Sure. The reason for all this hubbub is an item called the Vibe Scepter, which the goons use to capture Mario and Luigi. Anyways, Bowser writes the remainder of Peach's castle a note bragging that he captured Mario. Can I ask why? You literally just self-incriminated yourself. You finally got away with what you wanted to get away with for so long, and you kind of just locate where they are, help the other team out, right? It's almost like you want Peach to come to your oh, that's why. Horn dog. Anyways, it's time for a character that's always needed their time in the spotlight to shine. Toadsworth. Okay, it's Peach. Damn spoilers and the title ruining my good jokes. You know, this game was developed by Tosei of all companies. They've developed some pretty big titles. Taking a quick glance at their Wikipedia, I mean, how can you not praise the developers of Shrek Hassle at the Castle, the best game ever made? Funnily enough, I've actually reviewed a game from them before, being Super Monkey Ball Deluxe. Although they were never officially confirmed to work on that, my friend Johnny had to do some digging on the internet to find that out. And you should go see his video on it. I don't know how to lead this into the rest of the video. I just thought it was interesting because I'm a nerd. I know that's hard to believe. Anyways, here's our game, a good old side scroller. I feel like the DS had so many of these types of games, but it did it so well that these two concepts were ultimately matched in heaven. The main difference between this and any given Mario game are twofold. Firstly, we have the umbrella as an attack, being Parry, who we use the body of to smash into crying enemies and blocks. As the game progresses, you can unlock additional upgrades for Parry, like a charge attack, a float from Super Mario Bros. 2. Peach can also use Parry to hide like a coward and latch onto rails. That's the coolest use for an umbrella, possibly ever. I want to do that in real life. The second concept that makes this game stand out from any other platformer is, okay, let's just handle this concept gingerly. I usually don't talk about, like, social issues in my video, but the internet seems to have kind of made this a focus point of this game, so I don't know if I can really avoid it. I can try. So to interact with the world, Peach basically uses her emotions. Yeah, she uses emotions. She can get really angry and light things on fire. She can spew water by crying like a baby, fly by I don't know what this emotion is really. She just looks kind of high and recovers health by being happy. So the primary point of concern among the internet is that, yeah, this is one of the first, or hell, the first game in the Mario series starring a girl in the primary lead, and her main playstyle is via emotions, which is a common stereotype. There's two ways we could really look at this, right? Either the game developers are really tone deaf and this is just insensitive at best, or at worst, they're f***ing sexists. Now, I do feel to a degree, whether intentional or not, you can argue that this is somewhat offensive. To be fair, it's not only Peach that's fraught with emotion. A lot of the goons around the island seem to be going through the same sort of thing, so it's kind of just a motif of the game. But yeah, I mean, there's not a ton of wiggle room to really defend this. A lot of game reviewers around this time would also accuse the developers of sexism, with one reviewer saying he got a bottle of perfume with his copy of the game. I don't know if that's sexist as much as it's just kind of weird. And you'd think with something so potentially controversial that they would be like, all right, we need a great reason. Like, this had to be in their minds from day one. Except it's really not that great. Now, for one, did this playstyle really have to be thrown into emotions? Like, couldn't this be like any other game where a wizard just comes down from the sky and is like, oh, Peach, you have the ability to shoot water, fire, and fly now? Or what about, like, power-ups? In terms of how it actually plays, I mean, it's fine. I don't think it's the best idea ever pen to paper or anything. To activate any of them, all you have to do is tap one of the 4 squares on the touchscreen. The main thing I personally dislike about this is the fact that your emotional powers are tied to a vibe bar at the top. You may have at most like 7 or 8 seconds before this depletes, and you have to pick up little blue gems on the ground to refill it. This may be fine in theory, but oftentimes I would run out of blue gem power and be completely screwed because the game wouldn't give me enough. It only happened a few times, but it really sucks to get far into a level, realize you don't have enough to continue, try backtracking to find more, and have no choice but to exit the entire level and start all the hell over again, all for a section that you couldn't possibly predict. What a cruel punishment. It honestly made me not even want to use my powers during these levels. This also makes healing near useless, although that becomes a conundrum within itself, because you know what? This game gets kind of hard sometimes, and you want to heal, but you can't, so go screw yourself. It becomes a never-ending cycle of pain and suffering, and I already get that enough in life. So this is one stereotype the game designers didn't follow. You know the stereotype, oh, games are for little girls, this game is girly, therefore it's easy. No, this game is really hard, so I'll give them credit for at least not succumbing to that. Yeah, you can't mess around in a goddamn Princess Peach game. If you die at the end, guess what? You're going all the way back, bucko. Now, there's one aspect to this I really appreciate. There are no lives in this game. I've been back and forth on the concept of one-ups in video games over the years, but my rule of thumb is that whether or not you have lives, you should design the game accordingly to meet that vision. For instance, a bunch of NES games that have lives really suck in my opinion, because you die and die and die until the cows move to France, but if you had unlimited lives, then it's just about finishing the game and achieving the challenges, something like Super Meat Boy. So the lack of a one-up system works pretty well with this game, but still pisses me the hell off to have to replay a 10-minute level. Thankfully, there are no automatic deaths in this game, though. The lava and even the pits can only cause you to lose half a heart. I thank the game designers for having half a heart on this one. But don't get me wrong, this game is no cakewalk. Saying that sentence alone would be an insult to cakes and walks alike. It's not even just the platforming. Super Princess Peach has a bizarre obsession with these guessing game puzzles. Honestly, these are more irritating than any platforming challenge these corporate sickos could have come up with. Is this fun to anyone? Going up to a random door and pray that it's the correct one in a sequence? Oh, you missed it, now I gotta go all the way back. Okay, I have this Xenoblade 3 coaster tin. Heads means I'll continue playing, tails means the game's over. I actually don't know where that went. Once in a while, sure, fine, whatever, but this trope lasts throughout until the castle world. It feels like genuine padding. Like, I don't know if I'm missing something. I didn't take any game design classes or anything like that, but like, I don't get it. I'm sorry, I just don't get how this is supposed to be fun. So you know what? Take out a damn pen and paper, or you know, it's the 21st century, just write it on your computer, probably. Super Princess Peach loves cryptic, stupid moments, like this leap of faith leading me into a fall that takes like 30 seconds to land. Well, screw me, I guess. Sorry I didn't go all the way to the right. My bad, let me just climb the way all the way back to the top. And the controls, okay, they're mostly fine, but fine is not a shining accomplishment, okay? I'm not gonna give the developer developers a gold medal just for showing up. I specifically find these springs to be really damn irritating. Often you bounce right off of them, even when you swore you held the A button down harder than a mother fricker. And sometimes the hitboxes just make no sense. I mean, if you're telling me I missed that, then I have some copy of the Nintendo World Championship to sell you. Then there's the second to last level, which has a giant thwomp that sucks everything in. You have maybe a few frames of a window to match Peach up with these statues with a jump and a float. If you mess up any, and there's like 10 in a row, or get hit by dry bones chucking their limbs at you, you get to do it over and over and over again. To the game's credit, there are still clever moments though to see if you're paying attention, like these platforms that crumble apart if you aren't holding L or R. On top of all that, I feel like this game suffers a bit from what I described in the first Drawn to Life game. I've decided to name this issue the fear of missing out. You see, Super Princess Peach, like most games of this genre, have collectibles in the form of toads who are trapped in boxes. Okay, another question for Bowser. Why trap the toads in boxes where they can be saved? Why not just throw them off of a cliff or something? Like, yeah, you'd be a murderer, but okay, my publicist is telling me not to stop speaking. He's waving his hands insanely, so I'll shut up. The issue is, though, these levels are so big, and especially the last world or two. In the Cloud World, for instance, I would find myself just completely going the wrong way at some points, or backtracking, and it's like, is this game supposed to be a Metroidvania, or I guess Metroid Peachvania, because how many game titles can we fit into one? Let's do a challenge. That's what it genuinely feels like sometimes. And then specifically with the fear of missing out, you become paranoid at every corner that you didn't explore something. The toad counter really does nothing to help this either. It's not like how the star coins in New Super Mario Bros. Worked. If you get the third, it just appears as the first, giving you no point of reference as to how far the toad is supposed to be in the level. So often, I would get to the end of a level with 0 or no toads, and this felt surprising to me because I thought I was being pretty damn thorough, but they hide these things pretty well. I just realized I called the toads things, and I apologize. It's kind of toxic. Every final level of the world, you'll fight a boss. I know, that's a big surprise. These start with some touchscreen gimmick. I don't know why, but they do. You pull down trampolines, you break rocks, you spin a gear. One hit and you're dead during these, but it's short enough where it only makes you throw your DS out the window twice. I'm speaking for a friend right now. The actual boss fights, though, aren't too bad. I noticed a theme here. There's a lot of bosses from Super Mario Sunshine. I guess the connection is, both games are really goddamn weird. We have Petey, Gooper Blooper, Wiggler. Ugh, the Wiggler fight. This boss sucks. It's so long, and that's when the no checkpoint issue really becomes a problem. It's not hard because of its length. It's mainly just a problem because of how many powers this fight requires. You need to be angry to spring under him, tornadoes to clear the air, and use health to heal yourself because not taking damage in this fight is an impossibility to the 10th degree. I don't care what those, oh, I defeated all the bosses with no damage challenges videos say. With so many powers in play here, the vibe meter really doesn't last that long, and in one attempt, I stopped getting refills outright and had to exit the area. The fights overall weren't a high point of the game or anything, but you know, I had some fun with them. These little tutorial boxes will always tell you exactly what to do, which I appreciated, but I can see some gamers getting mad, so relax, just skip these, know the game is not ruined. On the subject of the vibe powers though, I don't find them all that intuitive when it comes to the actual gameplay. For one, their usage can just be confusing. Like Peach's tears can freeze platforms in the ice levels to make them more slippery. And yeah, I mean, that does make some sense when you think about it, but it also really never came to my head at first. I also feel like the game relies way too much on the flying power for collectibles and sometimes outright progressing, which, as said prior, isn't really viable due to the lack of blue gems. The only other ability it has is like killing clouds. Die, you cloud. I guess we're killing them with kindness. With only 3 powers, the game developers really had to stretch these out to last 48 levels and make a lot of situational moments. And I think adding a few more powers would have really helped with making this game feel more in-depth, kind of like the Kirby games, which have a lot of power-ups. This game in general kind of just errs on the side of monotony. Look, it's a DS platformer. Okay, I get it. Don't be a crying Goomba at me. But I almost feel like they could have gotten away with less levels and just make them better. Think about something like Kirby Forgotten Land. I don't know why I keep mentioning Kirby, but I am, so just roll with it. That being said, Super Princess Peach does enough from a presentation and gameplay standpoint to feel mostly fresh throughout the adventure. It's your typical level themes here, sure, but honestly, there was so much personality and charm thrown in it that I didn't really mind it, and I kind of didn't mind the repetition. And this leads me to a take that's borderline cancelable. I prefer these graphics and models to New Super Mario Bros. This is one of those many takes that I say is hot and the internet will be mad at me for, but it probably isn't. No one cares, but I'm gonna lock myself in here for a month without food and water. It begins. I don't know, it's a really joyous game to look at and live in, and I think this helped me feel pretty positive about this game, even when I wanted to eat a cactus playing it. Peach is expressive and well animated, both with her sprites and the art on the bottom screen. Enemies are extremely expressive and fun to watch, and I think the sprite work goes a long way to make this game feel like a quality product, instead of those gross, jagged 3D models we'd sometimes see on the DS. And the music, oh my goodness, okay, I'm gonna do that YouTuber thing where I just play music for 30 seconds. It's not lazy, it's just mostly lazy. Throughout the game, there were also shops where you can purchase upgrades and other doodads. You can buy more health and more vibe power, but it's important to note that you don't actually start out with that. It's just a potential extra you can match out your bars to. Additionally, this shop also has songs and collectibles you could buy. Yet again, this is actually a major improvement over the new Super Mario Bros. Games. Coins actually mean something at all here. Screw it. I mean, I like collecting coins. There were actual rewards. You need a lot for some of them. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I sure as hell wouldn't max this game out unless I removed all responsibility from my life, but it's a neat feature that makes me want to actually engage with the levels. And again, something I really liked in this game over most Mario platformers is that you have a real story in between worlds regarding Perry and his background. And look, it's not like Shakespeare or Jeff Kinney or anything, but you know what? For Mario standards, it's pretty good, and I liked watching it. You know, I'm actually fairly impressed. Super Princess Peach is a fun and joyous game. I've had a blast with the first 7 worlds and 5 levels. Like, sure, there have been problems, but I'm sure there's nothing the final level of the game can possibly do that can ruin my entire experience with this game, right? That's crazy. What a load of actual dog shit. So you're telling me that every single toad in the game must be collected before you access the final level. Great! You know, that would have been really nice to know at the start of the game, and suddenly it's come back to me. You know what? I remember why I never beat this game. It's funny because now I remember this verbatim happened to me as a kid. They say nothing about this in the story. It is technically thrown at you in the instruction manual, shoved into the corner at the bottom of a page. Okay, for one, it's 2005. Someone tell the game developers you are allowed to put words on a screen. You can do it, guys. But for 2, what if someone bought this game used? In fact, I'm pretty sure I got it used as a kid. Got it in one of those like trash GameStop box arts. Like, not everyone has the manual, let alone not everyone's gonna read it, especially kids. I really hate games that do this. Oh, you got to the end, but you didn't actually beat the game. Go yourself. It's just a giant middle finger to the player and the time that they just invested. Miss Pac-Man's Maze Madness did this exact same thing, although not as bad, but you still have to replay levels over and over and over again to move forward. This trope dates back to 2D Sonic games and games like Ghosts and Goblins, and it's made me a bitter and jaded person. It's like, I made it all the way here, and you're just gonna tell me that my journey meant nothing, and you want me to play the entire game again? And it's always gonna bother me. What kind of wacky, crazy final boss and I miss that I'm just never gonna know is what I would say if we didn't have the internet and I could just watch someone else's gameplay. Okay, well, it's just Bowser, so I don't know if I care that much, but I'm still mad. I'm still really mad. Okay, what the hell is this? Alright, let's see what this frickin' ending is. The Vibe Power has strange and mysterious powers, that's for sure. Okay. Somewhere, someone may be using it right now. Okay, your mom's been laughing a lot. Maybe the Vibe Scepter is somewhere in your house? Okay, wow. Okay, so you think after doing as many game reviews as I have, you would kind of just know how to manage every situation, but like, I don't even know what to say. I mean, the game designers literally put They put a frickin' like the in the game, and like that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a. I don't. Can I even like say this on YouTube? Is this video just gonna get like demonetized? Like, it's not my fault. The game designers put up. Oh, I don't get paid enough for this, man. I don't think there's any money in the freaking world. It's a freaking kid's game, dude. Like, and there's nothing I can say. There's nothing I can say to normalize this situation. It's just horrible. I usually ask the question with these videos, why did X series die? But you know what? This time, I think I know. They took the opportunity of giving Peach her own game and made it sexist and frickin' weird. As a result, the developers were probably too ashamed to ever port this game, remake it, make a sequel, reference it. I'm pretty sure Nintendo wanted to bury this game far and far away, so they made the next Peach game 20 years later and hoped everyone forgot. Nintendo, you're welcome for me unearthing it to the internet for you. Behind all the crap this game has, I still mostly had a good time, but it's something I don't even feel comfortable admitting to. Like, I feel gross that I even touched this game. I guess give it a shot if you want. There's a lot of fun parts and a lot to like here, but just know what you're getting into. A legal disclaimer, I am not responsible for your divorce when your wife inevitably leaves you. And that's Super Princess Peach. I usually have a more coherent conclusion, but I'm at a loss right now, and I really don't know what to say, but the game has its, you know, good qualities and weird qualities, and hopefully Princess Peach Showdown is better. Now, if you excuse me, I need to go shove some bleach in my eyes, but I don't have any bleach, so I need to go to the store. So, yeah, just assume I'm doing that, because I don't actually want to film me doing it. I could do it off screen even. Oh no, I poured bleach in my eyes. This is such a wacky conclusion to the video. I just couldn't film it. No, no.